You know, the difference with homelessness is it's just you're super poor and you don't have any safety net that can kind of catch you when you fall. We have this huge problem where there's not a single jurisdiction in the nation that housing and minimum wage matches, so you can't afford a place to live on minimum wage, that we have a housing crisis in all of our cities. Really solving homelessness is really hard and also really not that complicated. It just requires more housing, but somehow we've thought over the long haul that that's a really lofty or hard thing to do. And so back in 2008, this group of leaders came together and said, you know, we need to stop managing homelessness. We're not fixing it, and we know that there's a solution. It's more homes, and let's create a convening organization and entity that can bring all of the partners together to get it done. And that's when they created Destination Home.
He was a veteran, so when he got back home after he came from Kaiser, things started going bad. He was already an alcoholic, but he controlled it. So after he came back from Kaiser, things just went crazy, and he stopped paying rent.
Roughly around 13, I started doing time, being sent away and incarcerated. And that led me down a road of a lot of group homes, psychiatric facilities.
I wound up succumbing to the very garbage I was selling. And over about a 19-month period, I opened the door for myself to become homeless.
Now I'm getting divorced, I can't pay my bills, nobody's looking up to me. It's like this standard that you've been living for so long, and then that happens, and no excuses, but I turned to drugs and the streets to just get away.
Going into a depression that sent me further and further down to where I ended up on the streets in the jungle as homeless for 5.5 years.
Well, when I was about 13, my family started breaking down. There was emotional, sexual, and physical abuse. So I left on my own, and when I was about 16 years old, I was actually sold to an individual. I was brought here. There were some very crazy things that went on.
How do we really focus on changing the system, right? We know that it's a system failure, so there has to be a system solution. When you realize that you're spending massive amounts of money not solving a problem, then there's two impetuses, right? Then there's a moral responsibility and there's a better way, and we have a better way to use taxpayer dollars. We worked with all of our partners to create a community plan to end homelessness, and we took that plan and had all the different councils and elected bodies endorse it, because we knew we needed one set of marching orders, and it was pretty simple. The plan was, you know, help the system be more responsive to homeless folks, build the solution was one of our strategies, and we knew that our goal was 6,000 units of housing. And so that number 6,000 is a combination of increasing the supply of permanent housing that's affordable to people that are homeless, and also rapid rehousing, which is, you know, not everyone needs permanent housing. Measure A is the most important thing that, you know, we've done to date. You know, I think that Measure A was a recognition of the work that had been happening locally, that there was a solution to homelessness, that we knew how much homelessness cost, that we knew that housing worked, but we just didn't have enough of it, right? So the next 10 years really is, does the community want to do this with us? Can we raise the rest of the money that we need, because Measure A is not going to get the job done on its own? And are people going to be comfortable understanding what housing like this means in our neighborhoods all over the county?
I found an apartment, and you know, it's empty right now. I don't have a lot of things in there, but it's mine, and it's given me back my dignity. You know, I didn't have a lot of that. I didn't even know how to begin.
It's gonna make me cry. I love my house. I'm very blessed. I have a beautiful, pardon me. I have a beautiful home in Willow Glen. It's in a 1-bedroom apartment. It's brand new. My landlord's very, very kind.
And then the day before Thanksgiving, I actually moved into my apartment. I was really stoked. I mean, it was like, you know, it's completion of a journey.
It's nice to come home, and I have a dog too that my son helped raise. So it's nice to come home and that little dog wags her tail and the carpet's a mess and the couch smells, but it's mine. and I can clean it and I can cook, and my sons have their bedroom, and for the most part, it's a sanctuary. It's a sense of peace, and it's something that I don't take for granted.
Oh my God. You know, I missed it when we were homeless. I mean, it's awesome. You know, you can, you know, you feel like secure. Like when I was living in the car, you know, I just felt, it was depressing. You know, I didn't know what was gonna happen from one day to the next. So it's just so much better.
It's changed in a big way. I've actually was able to go through and get my schooling. I have a bachelor's degree now. My youngest is now gonna be 20. It's provided so much stability, and it's given me a pathway. Because if I can do it, anybody can.